What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin It podcast. Andre, how you doing, man?
I'm chilling out, having a nice time viewing some different trailers because we got some decent ones this time around. It's been a good week for gaming
Yeah, I
for
will
the
give
most
you
part.
that. I will
For the
give you
most part.
that. Normally, I don't give people the title of our episodes, but this week I'm going to give you the title of this particular episode of the Wingin It podcast. Why is Nintendo like this? This is a play. I didn't come up with that. I love Mighty Keith,
Mm.
YouTuber. Subscribe to his channel. He has dope content. He's very hilarious. But his last Nintendo Direct thoughts thing, that was his question. Why is Nintendo like this? And that's appropriate for this week. So Nintendo decides to drop a Paper Mario video trailer out of nowhere with a release date. And
Release date that's only a couple months away.
The release date is actually July 17th.
We hear no word about nothing going on with no Paper Mario at all. They're like, hold on, we just going to drop this out of nowhere. 2 months. Y'all got 2 months in this game. Like,
matter of fact, you can go pre-purchase it right now.
Like when the development start on this? Nobody.
So, and this is why I wanted to get your thoughts on this because, I like the Paper Mario series, but I'm a casual fan of the Paper Mario series. I'm not a hardcore Paper Mario aficionado. I like the puns. I'm there for the puns and the jokes. That's what I'm there for. So I'm not there for the nuances of the gameplay. I'm there for the puns and the jokes in the story because usually it's freaking hilarious. I loved Color Splash because it was funny. It was funny, and the combat was cool, but mostly it was funny. So I see this trailer, and it's called the Origami King, and I don't know why they made a origami figure look like a straight up LA douche, but they did. Yeah, they found a way to do that and make it work. So, your thoughts?
I mean, honestly, that trailer looked real interesting to me. Even though it was only 2 minutes, there's a lot to unpack in that 2 minutes.
Yep.
Like you got a folded Bowser, so he must have been a victim of that process of being turned into origami, but he didn't want to do it.
Yep.
And he kind of broke out of it. I assume he kind of broke out of it part way. That's why he looks like he does. Like he looks like a folded over napkin.
Yeah, like a birthday card from Hallmark. Yeah. You know.
like I'm looking forward to it. Like if it's a flattened paper versus origami paper war, this is gonna be funny.
Yeah. But I think one other thing too, like how they had Princess Peach come out there and she was just like
she's converted.
Yeah, and she starts off like, will you join us? Will you crease yourself? He's like, no. He's like, well, right, wrong, it doesn't matter. Your replies are paper thin. I'm like, yes, the puns are there. Becky Lynch would be happy with all these puns that they got in this damn trailer. So I'm sitting back like, so has Peach turned evil? This is going to be interesting. And Bowser has to help out Mario. He doesn't have a choice.
Well, so we got a corrupted, indoctrinated cult Peach.
Yeah, cult Peach. Yeah.
Like Bowser's like, nah, look, this ain't right. Like look, I capture her, but I don't make her convert.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to give her the wedding that she wanted in Odyssey by pretty much kidnapping her and everybody that's involved in a wedding. But I didn't, and on top of that, I was going to force her to wear my giant ring as a hula hoop, but I have morals. So yeah. But there is one thing at the end of this trailer, and that therein lies one of the things that I think people found interesting was there's a paper mache Samus helmet in there, and one of the characters says, "What is he doing?" And you're like, okay. So the question now becomes: is Nintendo going to do something? Was this dropped for a reason? I don't think Nintendo's dumb enough to play around with the Metroid fan base again. They've done that once. I don't think they're gonna do that again because it did not work out well in their favor. So, shout out to Rob from Rule 2 Review. He has a couple videos on this. Y'all need to go check out his channel as well. He does dope content too. But I really do think, like he does, that this is going to lead to something, whether it's a update on Metroid Prime 4 or it's a completely different Metroid Prime 2D game or something like that. There's going to be something in the Metroid universe that we're going to probably be getting soon, because we know they're not doing an actual digital event like they normally do for E3, but they never said they weren't dropping stuff all summer. They never said that.
They haven't said that.
I think we're just not going to get the actual 45 minutes that we normally get. We're probably going to get like a couple of directs, mini directs that are like 30 minutes long, but mini directs. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get that, because once again, they just dropped the Paper Mario the Origami King and nobody knew anything about it. They were just like, "Oh, you on Twitter this morning? Hey, look at your timeline right quick."
Hey, yo, leakers, where was this?
Yeah,
not one of you.
Y'all industry insiders. The industry
where
insiders.
Where was this?
Nobody knew about this, dude.
So not a soul.
So that just goes to show me that, like, I think it was like last year when the Nintendo president said, "We got a lot of stuff that y'all don't know about." He was not bullshitting. He wasn't. He was just, "Oh, y'all think I'm lying? All right, just wait. Just wait. Oh, you think it's a game? Just wait. You have no idea."
No, see, now I'm waiting for a Nintendo trailer with Kensuke Tanabe talking about the progress they've made on Metroid, what Prime 4 is going to look like. And I would not be shocked if they say they are going to do a 2D Metroid game. I would not be surprised. That follows behind Fusion.
Yeah, because I mean, the Metroid lore, much like the Legend of Zelda, the Hyrule lore, it is so deep and so much stuff you can do with it. Though I think Nintendo's problem with the Metroid fan base is twofold. One, people claim they love this series but don't buy the games, so the numbers don't match up. Like, all y'all hollering, but when the game drop, we only selling 1 million copies, barely, or 2 million, barely. It ain't like, in other words, it's not like Pokemon and Animal Crossing where y'all complain and tell everybody y'all gonna boycott, and then we sell 6 million in a month. It's not like that. So that's one problem. The second problem too is, if you have been gaming for a while and you have been gaming on a Nintendo console, Nintendo makes their games for their console. They don't make them for, every generation. They make them consoles specific to a point. And there have been times when, like, Nintendo, like, look, we just don't have an idea that'll work for this franchise with this console, so you ain't getting one.
This happened before.
I mean, hell,
it skipped the 64.
Yeah, because they couldn't get it to work. But it hit GameCube, and it was amazing. GameCube and Wii was amazing. Skip the Wii U. Reasons. I don't anticipate it skipping the Switch, but the problem with it with the Wii U thing was y'all hated Other M, which wasn't a bad game. It wasn't, whether you want to believe it or not, and they did everything that fans demanded, which is they wanted full voice acting. They wanted I think that's when they wanted the hybrid 2.5D. They didn't want to be first person. Mm-hmm. They did everything y'all asked. And I kept telling people, I'm like, have y'all not played this game? Y'all do realize she's by herself the majority of the game, so she's gonna be talking to herself. It's gonna sound crazy because she's not Deadpool. It's not gonna be funny back and forth.
No. And anytime that she does have an interaction with other people, it's not going to be very long. It's going to be brief because she's working on her mission. Like, that's what she does.
Yeah. I mean, the best use of voice acting in a Metroid game, in my opinion, was Prime 3 Corruption. And that's because she didn't have a choice because she was working with the other bounty hunters and the Federation to try to figure out what the hell was going on. And even most of the game, she's still by herself, still not talking because she's doing her mission.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's just one of those things. I hold hope that because I personally believe we're probably gonna get either, like you said, a update because Tanabe is actually the producer on Paper Mario. He's doing both at the same time. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think Metroid Prime 4, when they said they were doing they had to go from scratch. I don't think they ever went from scratch. I think because Retro already said they had a story for it, and I think they're just using the assets. They just back under one house.
Repurposing them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't think it's gonna take as long as people think.
Here's a little theory, and I just realized there's probably not going to be a brand new 2D Metroid game.
Probably a remake,
but it could be a remake of Super Metroid.
That's true.
Or could be a remake of Super Metroid,
or one of the Game Boy games.
But when we think about it, we've gotten a remake of the first game. We got a remake of Metroid 2 recently.
Yeah.
Super Metroid is the only 2D Metroid game that was kind of outdated as far as controls go, even though it still plays very well. But in comparison to Fusion and Zero Mission, and even now Samus Returns, it's outdated.
Yeah, and you can use that especially with like everybody doing remakes now. Anyway, you could use that as an excuse to actually tighten up that story too.
Mm-hmm. Tighten up the story bits that really weren't cohesive,
and then you can make it make sense with Other M, because Other M is basically the sequel to that.
Yeah. So that's probably what it is.
That would make sense. Or
either that, or we're getting the trilogy on the Switch.
Yeah, which I like 3 the best, so I'll be down for that. And I hope they do it like they're doing the BioShock stuff, where it's like if you buy it digital, you could buy it separate. Because I wouldn't buy all 3 of them. I just buy Corruption because I played through all 3 of them twice. I know those games like the back of my hand. I don't really care for Echoes all that much. I love the first one, but I just don't like all the backtracking and walking of the first one. I hate it. That's the one aspect because I felt like that game got bloated because you had to backtrack and walk
because they didn't have a shortcut system.
Yeah. I like the third one the best because you actually get to use the gunship and to do cool stuff. And I would actually love to use my Joy-Cons or gyro with 3. Just to see how that would work, because believe it or not, when they did that re-release for the Wii control, the Wii U, that Wii Remote and Chuck, man, it made that game so much easier. The Elite Pirate was still an asshole, but it made the game so much easier. So much easier. But one day we're gonna have to have a Metroid cast. One day we're probably gonna have to do that. Yeah, one day we'll probably have to set aside and do a small little Metroid cast. That would be fun. But the other thing that dropped last week, see, first there was ray tracing to show you guys how water looks. Now, Unreal Engine 5 dropped a demo to show you realistic rocks. Realistic rocks. All right, so all right, so the Epic drops the Unreal Engine 5 demo. All in all, I thought it was okay. I did like the lighting effects. I'm being honest, I did like the lighting effects. I just thought they kept talking about the rocks a little bit too much, and I'm like, bro, okay, we get it. You guys like rocks.
I get they were trying to show off that it could do, but it could do more to enhance the environments and the atmosphere. I get that's what they were trying to show off.
It just didn't work.
It's like one of those things where you overplay something and it's just done too much.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we get it. We get the point. You said what you needed to say. You did what you needed to do. Can we look at something a little bit more creative?
Yeah. I mean, I would have liked it if, because the game that they showed, the demo that they showed was very Tomb Raider esque. Um,
Until she started hopping and flying around bricks and rocks and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Then it turned into Superman, but I, on the all in all, I thought it was okay. Uh, People mistakenly believe that it was PS5 exclusive. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Sony just paid for they paid for the demo thing for
Yeah,
that summer ago.
they took care of the demo reel for it, but that's
Yeah,
it. That's
that's all they did. Um, it came out later that Unreal Engine 5 is going to be playable. It's going to be available for all systems, including Switch. So there you go. There you have it.
a big
Um,
dub there.
yeah. Well, I expected that because Unreal Engine since like three, all of them have been scalable. I never understood this lie that like, oh, Unreal Engine can't perform on a, because remember that was one of the main reasons they tried to say that's why a lot of games didn't come to Wii U. No, that's BS. That's
They didn't
gaming
do.
media. That's the gaming media and Nintendo's own arrogance at people just thinking people gonna know what it is. That was the main two reasons. But
It.
it wasn't because of Unreal Engine, because Unreal Engine is scalable. If you can put those games on mobile, you can put it on the console.
Yeah.
So and that's been 3, 4, and 5.
Yep.
So those were all lies. I don't know why they told that, and I know there's a couple of outlets, game trailers, that perpetuated those. Game trailers ain't hit no more, but that's just one of those situations. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to seeing what all they're gonna do with it with Unreal Engine 5. But once again, we're coming down to this situation, and I know we've talked about this where every game don't need to be no 60 frames per second. So it's going to be interesting to see what the developers do with it, because it's all up to the developer what the game is.
Yeah.
So yeah, your triple A titles or whatever you want to call them. I mean, they may uh, use that a little bit better, but like I don't like the idea of people getting mad about Assassin's Creed Valhalla being 30 frames per second. I'm like, who cares if it's stable? If it's stable and you're having fun, where's the
I,
problem?
I think people forget that. People are looking for everything to be super smooth over it being, playable. Sometimes trying to make a game super smooth works against its playability.
Yeah, that happens a lot, unfortunately.
Which there is an example of that was recently expounded upon on Twitter with the Wonderful 101, where its frame rate was higher on the Wii U than it is on the Switch. There's a couple reasons for that. One, the Wii U draws more power, literally, than the Switch does. Switch is running games at like sub 20 watts.
Yeah.
So that power consumption is going to work against some of the frame rates. I know I've explained this before. I'm not a tech guy, but I've explained this before.
Well, here's the funny thing too. The game was meant for the friggin' Wii U.
Yeah,
Now that I've said that,
it was custom built
yeah,
for the Wii U. It was built around that system's architecture and how its computers and stuff, how its CPU worked.
it's not made for the PS4. It's not made for the Switch. So I don't expect it. I don't expect it to. I expect it to play well because Platinum is that friggin' good. But I think the superior version is probably still going to be the Wii U version.
Mm-hmm.
Just being honest, I think the superior version will always be the Wii U version. I don't think it's going to be the Switch or the PS4 or the PC version.
They can't do what the Wii U does.
Yeah, I know a lot of y'all don't want to believe that, but those are facts. So, and that whole Wonderful 101 situation, I feel bad because the game is so good, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff in that game that kids should not be playing that game.
No,
just
kids
because
should
you're
not.
like, wow.
It's just like kids really shouldn't have been playing Beautiful Joe, and I was one of
Yeah.
those kids. But
Yeah.
kids shouldn't have been playing Beautiful
Yeah.
Joe.
You really shouldn't have, because you're like, they do some stuff in there that We'll just leave it at that. I'm like,
Just
how
leave
the
it
hell,
alone.
like Kamiya and Inaba, how the hell did y'all get this past the censors? How?
Creativity. Being
How? Because
very, very creative.
all I'm gonna say is Wonder Pink, she off the chain. So take that as you may. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see because One for 101 comes out next week, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's next week. Okay, because I know the physical version is not coming out till June because of old girl.
Mm.
So it's or I shouldn't say that because of Rona, not the beer.
Well, I was going to say the malt virus, so I mean, it would work.
Oh yeah, it worked. Yeah, malt virus. Yeah, because of the malt virus. There we go. Malt virus. There we go. Does that work better, everybody? Malt virus. Malt virus. All right, there we go. So, uh, it's probably going to be but that has already been said. Like, because I think a lot of people, I think a lot of games going to be like that. Like the digital is just going to go on and drop. Just like, look, if you want to get the physical, you can, but understand you're probably not getting it till June, July, August, because everybody's having this problem. It ain't just us. I'm like, go try to order something off Amazon.
Oh yeah, they're definitely
They
having some trouble.
they give you a thing right there. They're like, yeah, normally it's 2 day shipping, but
Things are happening and stuff
yeah.
has to be taken care of. So
So yeah, you just have to. If it takes a couple of more days, please understand. I'm like, yeah, that's fine by me. So, all right, you know what? No, not Naughty Dog. Sucker Punch dropped their Ghost of Tsushima State of Play. Did you get a chance to see that one?
yeah, oh yeah, I watched that.
Okay, so I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna preface this by saying what I say to everybody that is a Square Enix fan. Sucker Punch. My one gripe with you is this: do you want to make a movie or do you want to make a game? Make up your mind. Look, I love Akira Kurosawa as much as the next man. All right, the samurai movie genre, I love it. But make up your mind what you want to do, because the one thing that's getting me a little worried here is this ain't a video game as much as this is you trying to make an interactive movie. I mean, even with, and I think it's cool that you do the Akira Kurosawa grain film mode. Not needed, but I think it's interesting that you wanted to put that in there. But once again, do you wish to make a movie or do you wish to make a game? Please make up your mind. Either way, if you make a movie, I'll probably watch it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, but when I'm playing a video game, I want to play a game. You know, that's one of my problems that I'm having with Final Fantasy VII Remake right now. It's like, dude, it's taking me out of it that every 10 minutes there's another freaking cutscene. I'm like, dude, I can't do one thing without there being another cutscene. Like, bruh, Barry, you cool now, but I don't like talking to you like that. Bruh, I just don't. I don't. Can you shut up so we? Yes, the environment. Yes, oh yes, you are the world's best environmentalist. I understand that. Can we just like, dude? So that getting that out of the way, I did like the aesthetic. I did like the how the camera moved. I liked how they broke down how you alternate between the ghost, which is the ninja, and the samurai version of Jin. I like that. I like that a
yeah,
lot. So
that you can have different approaches to take on the same mission.
yeah,
Like that's actually pretty cool that it works that way. Like I know me playing it, I would stick to ghost mode just so I could see all the dudes running from me scared because I
I would
drop down like Batman out of nowhere.
I would stick to ghost mode until that one Mongolian kills me, and then I'm gonna get mad, and
They
I'm like,
get
you
mad.
know what? You know what, bro? See,
You gonna
see,
get mad and
I
throw
was
one on
trying.
every arm.
I was trying to be nice. I was gonna be nice. You wasn't gonna feel it. Now I'm gonna let you see this. So that's me. That's my gameplay. I'll try to do stealth until I get killed by that one dude. I'm like, you know what? All y'all asked for this. Every last one of y'all. So
Like look, like people like, hold on, see, he messed up. That dude right there,
yeah,
you can blame him.
all
That
the
guy right
all
there,
all the other
that
y'all wasn't gonna die. Y'all was not gonna die. But because he messed up, all y'all gotta go. So
But that one dude in the back with the twirly mustache, you see him? Him? Right there? It was his fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, go from doing the nighttime stealth mission after you die, turning on that film grade and going.
You know what? I'm gonna turn this into a 1954 Akira Kurosawa movie. I'm just gonna walk to the gate with my sword out, and I'm gonna waste every last one of you. So, see, that's my problem. That is my problem. So I admit that, though. I admit that. I willfully admit that. I would try to be a ghost until I just get pissed off and be like, man, the hell with this stealth. I'm just gonna kill. I'm cutting all y'all heads off.
But the good thing is the game allows for that.
Yeah.
I wish there was a happy medium between the two. I mean, maybe there is, depending on how you outfit Jin. Yeah. But it's just like, I would love to see it like where you can be set up to go ahead and take on people head first and quickly duck out and then go into ghost mode. Instead of having to have one set and then another. But because there could be situations in the game that would call for that, depending on how they made it.
Yeah, I mean, the part that they showed where they showed you like blowing up the dock, that was cool. Mm-hmm. That was cool. That was more of a stealth ghost mission, but that was actually cool. Like I said, there was some stuff in there that I liked. I got the feeling that this is not an actual game as more as it is and we're trying to make it an interactive experience. And I hate when they do that. I hate when they do that. Because then when you actually get the game in your hands, most of the game is a QTE.
Yeah, that does.
You don't really get to like actually fight. It's just a QTE. Like, okay, gotta wait for the button. Yeah, this is cool. I feel like a real samurai doing this. Okay, yeah, interactive. Woo, woohoo! You know, so yeah. I hate when they do that. I hate when they do that. And y'all in the comments, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all done played them games where they made it look like it's gonna be a game, and then when you get it, it's not. It's an interactive. They try to make this interactive experience, and the majority of the game is a QTE game. It's basically a quick time event, and you're just sitting there like, yeah, y'all didn't want to just make this a point and click adventure. I mean, that's pretty much what I'm doing. But I am hoping that it's not like that because guess what else coming out on July 17th?
Paper Mario is coming out.
Yeah, so it's going to be Paper Mario versus Ghost of Tsushima. And first we got Doom versus Animal Crossing, but that was more of a happy medium because of all the cool artwork that came out of that.
No, see. That's where everybody started trying to have Isabel and Doom guy working together. I don't know if this is going to happen. Yeah. I mean, it would be funny. It would be funny for people to be like okay, we're going to pair Paper Mario with Jim. We're going to see how this works.
Have like the Origami King on the side of the ghost. It would be funny. Yeah, you can make it work. I mean, I think the reason why people didn't get so mad about the Animal Crossing and Doom thing because they were so different. And like once the artists started getting to it and started putting like Doom guy on the Animal Crossing beach and putting Isabel like in hell beating stuff, you're like, okay, this is crazy. Y'all wilding, but I'm here for it. I want to see this. Okay, Doom guy, you need to be in Smash so we can do this so we can make this work. So I mean,
Sakurai.
Yep.
I just thought about it. We go get a trailer thinking it's a Doom game,
and it's not.
It's not going to be that. You gonna turn around, Doom guy blasting Mario off the side of the goddamn building,
and him and Isabel gonna team up. And the ending animation gonna be him and Isabel like doing a high five or something crazy like that.
Or you gonna have him and Isabel standing off the side looking at him falling.
Yeah. Yep. You heard it first, people. We called it. So yeah, I mean,
you said that, and I thought I was like, oh shit, he might be in that Fighter Pass. He might be in there.
I would not doubt it. I mean, well, we know how Sakurai is, man. Uh, we know how Sakurai is. So I personally, I think both games are going to do well. Honestly, I really do. Ghost of Tsushima does look interesting, and Sucker Punch, they do good games. I mean, sometimes they make weird decisions, like Infamous 2, but I don't hold that against them. You know, because I did love the Infamous game that came out on PS4, Second Son, and I liked the DLC they did for it, First Light, which I might do a playthrough of First Light. I haven't done that. I haven't played that in a while, but yeah, I did like what they do. I like their portfolio. So, I mean, I'm interested in seeing how this works, but uh, it's just funny that they're both coming out on the same day, and I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is at this point. So, one thing I thought of last week, because if y'all didn't know, originally we were just gonna talk. We were gonna do our Legend of Zelda discussion this week, but
Too much stuff happened.
yeah, too much stuff happened. So we're like, and we still might do it. It look like we might have enough time to at least start it. But before we do that, there's one thing that I wanted to talk about, and that's because I saw some stuff with Microsoft, and I'm still tripping about. They keep showing that graphic with all these publishers and all these studios they got that they're working with. And okay, so let me ask you this: what do you think Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo should drop in the near future to could either help them, or you think will help boost their brand or sales? With me, with Microsoft, I think they need to drop one of them rare games like a, I don't know, Perfect Dark or a Jet Force
Perfect Dark.
Gemini.
Jet Force Gemini. No. No Perfect Dark. Because we got to give that some breathing room. It's had at least a game or two, a game.
Well, we don't, hold on. We do not count Zero in this house.
I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the remake.
Oh, okay. All right. There you
go. we'll let that one go. Jet Force Gemini really has not had any update. And it kind of just got thrown in the Rare Replay with a horrible control scheme for Rare Replay.
Yeah, that's true.
Jet Force Gemini 2 with a better control set that actually fits an Xbox One controller. And like Jet Force Gemini would definitely come back because it's basically Starship Troopers. It's Starship Troopers with weird bugs
and a dog.
And a dog that can kill everything. But it's not like we haven't had games with pets that know how to blow stuff up.
Point.
I mean, this game exists for a reason.
Yeah. What's up, Shadow?
What's going on, guys?
Okay, so we are talking. What games do you think that Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo should drop that, non-remake, but like another game in their series that they could drop, and you don't get to say Killer Instinct?
Like a franchise that they own that they should do?
Yeah, because yeah.
And we were currently talking about Xbox. So.
Yeah, we're currently talking about Microsoft.
So Microsoft needs to cut a deal with whoever just did Streets of Rage 4 and have them do Battletoads.
Yeah, and get
rid
of
that. You mean not that one that we got?
Yeah, have them do Battletoads.
I mean, they can still use the same art style, but the characters need to be redesigned. That's the problem. They should look more like their Super Nintendo arcade counterparts.
Or I mean, there's high res artwork for them to use. Like they can use the cabinet artwork or the cutscene artwork to go by. Like they don't have to completely redo everything. There's existing work for them to go by. That's what's so frustrating.
Mm.
And then you have Killer Instinct, like you said. Like Killer Instinct is like
we should be on Killer Instinct 5 by now.
Yeah, and then so Rash is in there, and he's like everything about him is loyal to.
He is a beast in that game.
Yeah, and he's loyal to the trademark. So I don't like. How do you go from that
to the Saturday morning cartoon?
Yeah, like how do you?
I'm talking to a bad one, like a ugly Nickelodeon cartoon. Not even like that.
It
just
was
ugly.
horrible.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not Battletoads. This was them trying to rebrand Battletoads, and it don't work because Battletoads is supposed to be hardcore and gory.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. You can't do that with a.
They tried to turn them into Ninja Turtles. That was their problem. They tried to make Ninja Turtles. They're not Ninja Turtles.
No.
And Ninja Turtles was the ultimate turn to they were the ultimate turn to wide appeal. Because the graphic novels were violent.
Mm-hmm.
They were more racially fluid. And
that first movie was off the chain.
Yeah, and it's just more traditional. So I like going from that to the Saturday morning cartoon that was far more PC, if you will. They completely went mainstream. And they're in lunch boxes and thermoses and all kind of stuff with them everywhere. I don't think you do that with Battletoads. They were lucky with Ninja Turtles. I'm surprised going from the graphic novel they were able to turn mainstream that easily. But with Battletoads is not it, because even with the cartoony look, like bad shit was happening in those games. Like you don't know, man. Like no, like and they had death animations. Like they were getting killed. If you screwed up in the game, like they were dead. Like they were
sliced up, blown up, cooked.
And then you got to the hoverboard level.
Yep.
And then you got sliced up, and you destroyed the controller.
Yep. And then in Battle Maniacs, it was even more violent. I mean, they didn't show as much blood, but you were literally slicing people in half.
Oh yeah, with the rat chasing you with the buzzsaw.
Yep. And then you would fall in half because they had the up and down scrolling levels that were similar to the hover bike levels, and there were so many different things that could destroy you there, and then you'd be cut in half, or you eaten whole by something or what have you, and that was just thrown in there for good measure, and it was just like, I mean, you go from being cartoony and you're cursing out this evil chick with huge breasts or what have you, and then all of a sudden you go into this level and there's maiming, and you're like, okay. Then you go back to cartoony stuff where their fists go big and then they knock people out and their eyes get big or whatever, and you go from that and gore. It's like it's a rough transition, and I don't know how you don't do that with a Saturday morning cartoon look. That doesn't work.
It don't.
So that's what they need to. I don't know what's happening over there. It's like, and they have Ken Lobb, so like he was the original leader of the Treehouse. So it's not like they didn't consult him at some point. I guess the question is, did they care?
Probably not.
Yeah, because internal publishing is just like, this is the project, we're greenlighting it, go, and then try to consult him. And he's like, this is how it originally was, and they're like, so yeah, which is and thus Rare is doing avatars and whatever. So
call the Stamper Brothers. Call the Stamper Brothers.
Man,
well, they ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, hell no. Nah. Not after that. Not after 2007. And that interview they did, they ain't.
And it's funny because Microsoft greenlit a lot of stuff they didn't have to. After they bought Rare still made like 4 or 5 GBA games. They made I think they made one DS game. Like
that was the remake of Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah, yes, they ported Saberwolf to the GBA. Like, this is stuff they didn't have to do, and Microsoft was like, okay, sure, why not? It's not a home console, so sure. And I'm like, so if you have the foresight to do stuff like that way back then when it wasn't popular to do with competition, like now. And now, after you've committed to Switch and saying, "Hey, yeah, we'll put Cuphead on Switch," and then you do this to Battletoads, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. But
yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, do you think they were just lucky with Double Helix when they did Killer Instinct?
Yeah, hell yeah, they were lucky.
That was real lucky.
Hell yeah, they were lucky. And to be honest, they played on people's nostalgia because that's how they got me. They played on my nostalgia because I still think the character models are not good looking.
They're not, but then they put the classic models in there. So
yeah, which I think was smart on their part because once again, like I said, they was playing on people's nostalgia. They got lucky. Yeah. Now, as far as Sony's concerned, hey man,
they got so much they could go back and grab.
Can I get like a Jack and Daxter?
A new Jack and Daxter, yeah.
Yeah, Mark of the Kree. Y'all remember that?
Mark of Kree and Rise of Kasai.
I'll take Toshinden because Sony paid all that money for Toshinden. Takara made it,
but they don't own it no more. Yeah. So they can't necessarily snag that.
And that's the thing, like, because I like Sony, but I think Sony. Here's my one problem with Sony. I think Sony's trying to keep up with the Joneses in that whole Microsoft thing. I'm like, dude, y'all got a lot of y'all had a lot of titles that was y'all's, and y'all just let it lapse.
Yep.
And let Activision come in and swoop up half of them. And I'm like, dude, you could have had like when they tried to do their own Smash Brothers, when they did PlayStation All-Stars was not a bad game. It just wasn't fun.
Yeah.
They tried to make it serious and it wasn't fun. And like, dude, but y'all used to have actual exclusives that y'all could have had y'all own very own Smash Brothers if y'all would have kept them.
At one point in time, they had a deal with Interplay where MDK was exclusive to PlayStation for like a year or so.
Yeah.
Like these are things where and Sony could have kept that, but they chose not to. And Medieval and all these other franchises that they could have literally had like, look, this is the brand of Sony, and they threw them away. Parappa, like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
Patapon.
I'm like, at least have a more diverse portfolio of games.
Yeah,
like that's to me because I'm like,
go ahead and bring back Tomba.
Yeah.
Yes. It PS1 and then somewhere in between the middle of the PS2 generation, Sony just said, "I don't care anymore."
Well, that's when they tried. That's when they tried to stay because at the time Microsoft had established himself as the mature console for the adult games, and Sony was trying to keep up with that.
Why Sony won the gen? Like, how do you?
I don't understand that, but like I said, because Sony had way more games than everybody.
At that point, yeah.
You let the newcomer who isn't good in Japan dictate how the generation is going to go. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Made no sense. And ever since then, Sony's been trying to play keep up with them. And I've never understood it because I'm like, y'all had, and this ain't nobody hating on Sony. I'm just saying they had a crap ton of exclusives that they had. Crash was theirs. Spyro was theirs. Jack was theirs. Sly Cooper was theirs. Ratchet and Clank theirs. Like they had a number of them that nobody else could touch. That they was creeping up on Nintendo with the number of like exclusives that they owned, and then they just said the hell with it.
Yeah, that's kind of it's just so frustrating. And then when people talk about, hey, Sony has the most exclusive, I'm like,
no, they don't. Not no
PS1,
more.
PS2.
Yeah, not no more. They don't.
Yeah, PS1, they had so many. They actually dwarfed Nintendo.
We gotta remember,
dwarfed Nintendo on the N64 on exclusives, and that's unheard of for a newcomer coming in '95 to be able to do that to Nintendo.
Well, the funny thing about it, back then it was Nintendo, Sega, and Sony.
And Sony came. They were not playing.
They came hard. Yeah. Back then, of course, Sony had more money than Sega and Nintendo did, so they could come in and like, hey man, if y'all want the contents of this briefcase.
I mean, if you think about it, every genre they had Nintendo beat. They had Wipeout, RPGs. They had RPGs for days.
Well, they had Square. Yamamuchi helped them get Square.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Yamamuchi like, don't y'all ever.
So we're done. We don't need you.
I don't need you.
Square's like, really? Real talk? And they're like, no, we don't.
Okay, all right then, partner.
Yep.
We'll see you in these streets, and then Nintendo goes on to drop Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, and that just blows that whole thing out of water. But
yeah, and then Square's like, we'll come back. We're sorry. It's Crystal Chronicles.
But you know what, dude? Like, you know what Sony could have done? Like one game that I would love to see actually redone and rebuilt from the ground up. And this was built, but this is a game made by Rockstar. Oni.
Oh
from
yeah,
PS2.
yeah.
What game?
Oni.
That was Bungie, actually. That
Well,
was
no,
Bungie's
I
project.
think it was Bungie's project, but I think Rockstar was involved
published
in
it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oni
Well,
made that. Oni was on the Mac originally. It was a Mac game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because
That's
Bungie
right.
was all Mac until Microsoft came and picked them up. But that was. Don't get me started on Bungie because that was a love-hate story.
Actually, honestly though, either Sony or Microsoft could get it because this game was on Windows too.
Yeah.
So
that was right
one
around
of
the
them.
time. It was 1999,
I think. It was 9. It was 99.
That was back when the Power Mac G3 with the first DVD recorder, right? And first DVD-R drive came out, and it had a NVIDIA GeForce 2 something. And whatever kind of GPU that was, Bungie was trying to pimp it out. So they had a demo of Myth. Halo was actually a RTS game then at the time.
Yeah, it was.
Real-time strategy.
And then Oni. They had these 3 games that they were pimping for this graphics card to show to people, say, hey, look at what the Mac can do type situation. And at the time, they were a Mac exclusive developer. They were doing Marathon Affinity, or what have you, and everything way before people started knowing what Halo was and who John was and who the rampant AI was and all that. So that's a whole nother podcast. But after that time frame happened, Microsoft came to them, and then now they're just like, well, we could put everything everywhere. And yeah, that's only comes to PS2, only comes to Windows. That was but that's another property. If Sony wanted to publish that, they could just go to Bungie, and I'm pretty sure they'll just be like, yeah, sure, here, because they aren't doing anything to it, and I don't think they're going to try to add on to it anytime soon.
Yeah, because right now, the only thing Bungie seems to be caring about is Destiny.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, with all the money they threw into it, I can understand why.
Yeah.
But we can move on to Nintendo, and I just thought of something I know would work.
Okay, go for it. And please don't say F-Zero. Go for it.
I was going to say F-Zero, even though I would love to see it.
And why is it not F-Zero?
But this would be, honestly, a wholly new IP because it would be combining 2 of them.
Okay.
Paper Zelda.
Okay. Like, why not?
Paper Zelda.
We were halfway
there. I need puns.
Or do a Paper Mario game where Paper Mario falls into Hyrule, and a magic has caused the land to be paperized.
And Mario is the protagonist.
Mario and Link are the protagonists. Mario and Link. Because if Link ain't there, everybody's going to burn this game down. Like if Link is not in there,
I am the first one that would do it. I'm the first one that's going to do it.
But it could be set up in a way that with things that happen because Paper Mario is there. Link is wondering what the hell happened. He goes after Mario, and they end up having to fight each other starting off because he thinks Mario caused it.
Smash Bros. Brawl.
Smash Bros. Brawl. Man, you already had a Link Between Worlds had the ability where you can kind of turn into.
Well, that was paint more or less, but it's the concept it would draw a lot of attention, and I know. Like if you go with the Paper Mario system everybody likes, the battle system everybody likes, but you stick with the puns and things, but you still don't make Link talk. Just like anytime he needs to talk, you put the little dots there like he's just like, man, I just want to get on with my life. Let's hurry up and finish this.
So that's the thing. How do you do that? Because branding is going to be a big issue. For whatever reason, Link's name doesn't sell. So how do you call this Paper Zelda if Link is the paper protagonist?
There, because she still has to represent Hyrule, so you would have to have a situation where her and Peach run into each other. So she still have to be there.
You name it Paper Zelda though.
Not be part of Paper Mario. You have to
call it Paper Mario.
Paper Mario and Hyrule.
Yeah, Paper Mario Cross Hyrule or something stupid. You'd have to do it like that. You'd have to add Hyrule in there in some way, shape, or form.
Because Paper Link isn't going to work. Like even like the highest selling game with Link as the name of the franchise is Link's crossbow training. Anything
That's
else?
because it was tacky entitled.
Yeah, Link's name doesn't, for whatever reason, Link's name doesn't, Zelda associates
That's
everything.
because they started off with it being called The
The
Legend
Legend
of
of
Zelda.
Zelda. Yeah.
I mean, even if they called it The Legend of Link, though, I don't think it would have taken off. Zelda just sounds.
If they did
more.
that today, they would probably get diminished sales.
Yeah. Zelda, the name Zelda just has a higher
It has a better ring to it. It has a better ring to it. It really has a better ring to it. Like, and plus, if you go and play the game, like, if you go by the story, nobody remembers Link anyway.
Yeah, it's about her. It's about her, but if you're gonna do, I guess the whole thing is, I'm imagining Zelda is not gonna be paper in this, or Link is gonna be doing the majority of the paper stuff.
Yeah,
Link in the game, so it should be called Paper Link, but that's not gonna sell.
Yeah, that's not gonna sell. Yeah,
like you would start off with Mario and Link, and like somewhere along the line, because Paper Mario games usually have assist characters anyway.
Yeah,
so you could have like Zelda and Peach and other characters be assist characters that pop up.
So it'd have to be a cross name then. So Paper Mario cross Legend of Zelda or cross Hyrule or whatever.
I mean, the thing is, like,
or you Paper Mario and the Hyrule Fantasy.
Yeah, because the funny thing about it is you can have it where Zelda and Peach meet each other and they can help out. Yeah, they'll be there, or they can be co-protagonists.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how that'll work, but
my point would be to make Link and Mario the main playable characters, and then each of them can have an assist character, and that way, that's how you square that one.
Zelda, yeah, you have Peach and Zelda.
All I know is Japan does not need to have the rights to seal the writing for this game. Let Treehouse have all the rights again. And let them play with the dialogue. It's amazing what they do. It is amazing. Like, dude, I'll play all the unpopular Paper Mario games for that reason, just to read it. Because Treehouse is awesome. They are awesome, man. Yeah, they are so self-aware.
Well,
it's amazing.
I was telling Andre earlier. I'm like, dude, I'm here for the puns.
Yeah.
I'm here for the puns. I'm here for I played Paper Color Splash, but dude, I was playing that game because it was funny.
Yes.
That's why I kept going. I'm like, I was going for the next joke. I'm like, so I'm looking forward to Origami King just because I'm like, dude, this is gonna be hilarious.
It's gonna be hilarious.
Like, that character looks like such a douchebag.
Yeah, I think they didn't show what the combat looks like. I don't know. It looks like it's a cross between what 1000-Year Door and Super Paper Mario would be. Like, the traversal is Super Paper Mario and the combat might be 1000-Year Door. They didn't confirm it.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure we're gonna get another video that's actually gonna show that. There's gonna be there's gonna be like a little 10-minute direct where they actually go into it, because I have a feeling, because it's coming out in a month.
July.
It's coming out in 2 months and 1 day. So I'm pretty sure in June sometime we're probably getting like either a 10 or 15-minute direct where they just look. This is what the combat is. We already heard y'all on Twitter. Y'all act like we don't pay attention. We do. Here's what the combat gonna look like. Here's a story element, and here's something else that's a little Easter egg, another little Easter egg for you.
Yep.
And that'll be it. I mean, because you don't have to you don't need people for that. You just need that the person who does the voiceover for the directs now anyway. Have him do it and just show the game. That's all you got to do. So you don't need a whole camera crew for that. You just need somebody recording audio to gameplay. That's all you got. That's all you need. So,
Paper Zelda sounds like a great idea, though.
I mean, I'm all for, y'all know me, I'm all for spin-off games anyway, because if they're done well. I didn't think I was gonna like Hyrule Warriors. I still play that game. That game is freaking awesome.
Those are the two worlds that have already had crosstalk, like as far back as Link to the Past. So
and there was one other one that had a crossover that didn't go all the way through. We already know what that one is.
Yeah,
Star Fox Metroid. I'm like that. Yeah. I'm like, dude, just do it.
Yeah,
just do it.
It makes all the sense in the world.
The weird thing is, like, if you pay attention, it's actually based on the way the game's technology works out. you could say Star Fox, Metroid, and F-Zero have all similar technology that has somewhere crossed paths.
They should link together.
Yeah, I mean, because I have so many ideas for that Star Fox Metroid crossover that should have came out on GameCube. I have so many ideas,
and that should have came out on the Wii, and that should have came out again on the Wii U.
And Platinum Studios need to jump on it.
They should.
What?
Their hands are busy right now with the certain witch.
With a certain witch and like them 2 other games they got coming out for PS5 and the game they got coming out for.
Like there's another RPG or something too, right?
And there's another Nintendo game coming out that's not Bayonetta. There's another one that's supposed to be coming to the Switch. So I'm like, y'all got like 5 games coming out that y'all working on. But get Bayonetta 3 done first. Yes, that takes priority.
Yes, please.
Yes, that takes priority. PS5, they'll be all right. Bayonetta 3 comes first. But yeah, I look forward to that. So, all right, so we're running up on an hour. Y'all know that I try to keep y'all out of here before an hour. So we're gonna have to push the Legend of Zelda discussion back another week. So hopefully nothing happens next week, and we can do it next week.
Okay.
Hopefully. Nintendo, look into my eyes. Don't drop nothing next week, please. Sony, y'all don't need to drop nothing next week, please. Microsoft, just wait till July.
They have nothing going on.
So
that's gonna do it. You just go ahead, Nintendo walking like the kid in the cafeteria and trip up and accidentally drop the stuff all over everybody.
I did have a Nintendo ad, but I'm trying to remember what I was about to say about it. But they should go back and do Eternal Darkness, and they should get
Diac do it.
Actually, I was going to say Retro to do it.
Oh, okay.
Because they never got their third-party game going with... They had a third-party action game with females in it. It was 3 females in it. And they never got that off the ground. So what better way for them to test that engine or that gameplay with Eternal Darkness? And then they could do the whole psychological horror and everything, but... now you have a combat engine, the combat engine you had with 3 different layers in it, and you could test it out in that game as well, and then add all the other stuff that Nintendo wants you to add on there.
And tighten that story up.
Yep.
Because there were a couple of elements of that story that need to be tightened up. But
that tail end with like Michael, that was finish that, please.
Yeah. But I actually that was one of my favorite horror games, Eternal Darkness. But the problem is, like, some of the stuff that they messed with you with, it ain't gonna apply now because remember back in the day we had memory cards, and that's the main one. Like, you be playing that game for like 2-3 hours.
I mean,
and then all of a sudden,
say, look,
your memory card erasing.
Okay, now you just say your save has been corrupted.
Yeah,
but your SD card is
but it wouldn't feel the same though. Dude, y'all have no ideas how many times I was sitting up in my apartment in college, jumping over my coffee table, trying to get the damn memory card out.
Memory card's corrupt.
I was like, "What the? Not my memory card."
Yep.
I refuse to play Smash Bros. Melee all over again.
Yep.
So, and not realizing my sanity meter then got too low.
Yeah, I mean, well, this way, I mean, it could definitely be easier for it to read your saves. So if they wanted to do the whole Psycho Mantis thing, they could do that again.
And they could set it up. They could set it up and make the game simulate dead pixels on your screen one by one as your sanity meter drops. So there are ways to mess with people.
They'll just have to find more current memes to add.
Well, what they'll have to do is they have to have one where Digital Foundry comes in and just tells you that your game is running at 58.7 frames per second.
There you go. God dang, man, you got this is 59.7 frames per second. It's not a full 60.
Like, what the
I could tell something was off just on the curve of that turn of that car. I could tell. I swear, I promise.
They copied the last frame. I'm like, that's because NSTC's standard is 59.9.
But
not 60.
About it is like, I would if it was me that was developed, I would actually call Digital Foundry and be like, "Hey, do y'all mind shooting just a scene for us, just so we can put this in the game,
just to have them talk about it."
Yeah, just to have them say, "Oh, your game is going from 60 frames to 30 frames to 10 frames." Because I would love to see the reaction of people on Twitch, like, "No, they lose their mind." That would be hilarious. But yeah, it's Eternal Darkness was one of those games. That one and Time Splitters, not 1 and 2, but 3. Time Splitters 3.
Future Perfect.
Future Perfect was the best one in that series. I miss those games, but I don't know how. Well, Time Splitters, I don't think there's so many FPSs now. I don't know.
There is a game that could take Time Splitters' place if the company that owns it is smart. I mean, they're deciding that they're going to do Overwatch 2 and finally add the story to the game.
Yeah. Which they should have did on the first one, but we're not going to talk about that.
Done the exact same way Time Splitters was done. Could have done the exact same way.
Yeah. So
hopefully this one will be done that way.
Yeah. But we'll just have to wait and see on that. Because everybody is in love with remakes and remasters now. I'm surprised they haven't done a Time Splitters trilogy thing. So, but hey, you never know. We might get that sometime down the line using Unreal Engine 5 and the rocks in it. But that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast this evening, and we will probably see you guys on the next one. And hopefully, like I said, Nintendo, please don't drop none next week. I really want to go do my Zelda podcast. Please don't drop none. I'm begging, please. So, look, if you got a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, just keep it. Just keep it for a couple weeks.
One more week.
One more week. Just let me do the podcast I want to do, please. But
my session in Final Cut right now demands of it. Please, it has to finish. Please don't.
This one.
So hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and we will see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wakanda forever. Peace out, peeps.
Peace. Play games, have fun to impress other people.
To impress other people? What you talking about?
All the time.